Okay, so this video is just like to sum up episode 11 of volume 5, and mainly I did think it was a good episode. I'm not going to say great episode. It was a good episode. It had the potential to be a great episode, but my issue, and it's not with Weiss getting stabbed per se, it's more the last quarter of the episode. To me, it just seemed really out of place. What the writers are doing, what you can tell they're doing, is trying to make it unpredictable. But sometimes being predictable, like if the fandom can figure out what they're gonna do, it's not such a bad thing when the fandom's already predicted it, because most likely if it's something we've come up with that a lot of people are saying, it's for a reason. It may be easy to see, but it makes a lot of sense, and we're going to be happy with it once it's animated anyway, if it does come true. Being unpredictable, you have to make it make sense. And this, plot-wise and everything from the animation, what they've done, and it's not really the animators' fault, because the writers have to come out with a plot, and then the animators animate whatever they write. So if the writing doesn't make sense, then the animation, beautiful, nice shading, it looks good, but it doesn't make sense because of the plot. And what I mean by that, a few things. Like, a good thing, Lionheart was both good and bad in this episode. I didn't actually realize the bad till I actually rewatched it. But the pros is his dialogue. It's very limited, but it's good. Where he actually mentions that he's sick of this war. He wants out. He's looking for a way out. And up till now, he's followed Ozpin. And what we learn from Ozpin is he's 1,000, if not thousands of years old. He's constantly been reincarnating to the point where it's this large span of time. And this is where I actually agree with Lionheart, is the fact that it doesn't make sense. It's like, usually people with large amounts of power, fighting for the good, trying to solve it, you would give them a certain amount of time to see some progress, to get shit done. And if this war has been going on at minimum 1,000 years, maximum maybe a few thousand years, a follower like Lionheart could actually see it's not going anywhere. We haven't made any progress. She's still here. The Grimm are getting worse. It's like country's in chaos. You can see where it's coming from. Like, he's just given up on Ozpin based on time, and he's gone, it's obvious, if you haven't won this long, we can't beat her. It's like, you can't figure it out. You're the genius behind all this, and you can't figure it out. So he's just gone, fuck it. Give her what she wants. She must have. And I wonder if Lionheart actually knows. I don't think he does, but it'd be interesting if he knows Salem's plan, because as far as we're led to believe, is she really trying to kill off all of humanity? Is that why she wants the relics? Because it's interesting. One of the relics is destruction, so it's possible. But then, it's also creation and choice. Choice leads me something similar to Naruto, where Madara tried to, the Infinites, control everyone in their dreams. So is it taking away choice? Is it destroying something and then recreating and using the choice relic to control what they've created? Which is very similar to Naruto with the infinite Tsukunomi. But then we don't know Salem's goals, so it'll be interesting if he knows. The con with Lionheart came when I actually thought about it leading up to it, because he has some dialogue when he tells Oscar, who are you, don't know who you are, you don't want this, leave. So at that point, he realizes he's just a kid. And he's not armed, that he can tell at the time. He's just a boy walking up to him. So I thought it's really weird that he summons a miniature meteorite and shoots it at the kid after warning him. And all the kid's done is walk up to him. I'm like, you've gone from trying to spare his life to murdering just some little kid. He does not know that it's Oscar thing, yeah. So I'm like, it's just like a 0 to 1,000. He jumped up real fast. He's like, try to save him, try to kill him, and I didn't get that. I thought that was something. A few other things. It's not much when you consider some bad episodes that they've had. This was really good. It all came down to the ending. The white eyes, I think it was used at the wrong moment, because when you see the Pyrrha cutscene, it's got Cinder standing up and Pyrrha on her knees, and I'm like, that's got nothing to do with how Jean and Pyrrha are colliding, because they're actually fighting. It's not like Jean's lost, and that would have made more sense when she's got him pinned, to activate the white eyes when he's pinned, because then she can have the flashback. But the scene that you actually realise would have made more sense is when Weiss gets stabbed, which I'm getting to, by the way. She's on her knees. She's bunched over like Pyrrha. It would have made the flashback there. Both bent down, mainly due to Cinder, have the flashback there and activate the white eyes. I just feel it was the wrong moment. It also felt forced. Like, usually it's some emotional outburst, but this just, it's like they activated it for no reason. It's like, wow, two people are fighting. Oh no, I'll activate white eye, silver eyes. It was, yeah, it was weird. This one, I kind of, looked, let me get to it. It's why, when the eyes were activated, the light encompassed the whole room. But yet it affected Cinder, but it didn't affect Vanal. And the only reason, like, I can think out of that is that it was directed at Cinder, in which case, yeah, it makes sense. It's just, like, you thought the white eyes would have gone, beam, and targeted fucking Cinder. Instead, it lights up the whole room. So you'd think Vanal would cop a bit of it, but if it's not directed, fair enough. I'm curious, why does it hurt Cinder's arm? Like, why does she always grab her arm? Someone came up with the theory, thus it's not canon, that she's got a grim arm, and that's why it's fully covered and everything. It's like, it's probably white with like black veins through it from when she used the glove. And I was going to research the glove scene to see which arm she was using, because in this instance it's her left, but when she sucked the powers up, was it her left arm or right arm that she used to do it? Which could make sense, but that's just a theory. It's like, why is she grabbing her arm? You think, fuck, it hurt her eye last time. And just on that note, with the eye, I'm actually curious, like, why it took, it's her left eye. And when you actually cut back to the cutscenes before, Cinder was notorious for having her hair cover her left eye, which means her right eye was always more visible. So you think if the silver eyes from Volume 3 hit her, it would have taken her right eye, which was visible, instead of her left eye that's hidden behind her hair. That's not a big issue. That's just like nitpicky things. I know other reactors who have actually picked that out. So it's just, and that's where you gotta notice. That's what makes it a bad thing. It's not just me. It's other people are picking up on this shit. And one of my favorites is Fat Man Falling. It's a group of guys, 4 of them, and they've copped a lot of hate from people saying that they're haters, but they're not. If you actually know who they are, one of them's an animator, one of them's into music, the other one is a writer. So they actually know what they're talking about. They're criticizing it from the fact that they do it for a living, so they can pick up on the mistakes. And the other half is the character they're portraying. They're being shit cunts. So it's half, hating, half that they actually know what they're talking about. I'm trying not to make this long because I want to upload it fast. The other part was Jean, who to me was MVP and the arsehole of the episode. He was both. Because early on, first lot, the emotion. We don't get to see emotion animated really well, and it's something Volume 5 is really doing a good job of. One of the things is Yang's character. Barb's getting better with her voice acting, because although she's just doing her normal voice, she must be more comfortable doing the job after 5 seasons, and she's really getting into it whenever she must be in that voice booth. And it's animated really well in shows. And with John, we got that. He's in tears, he's breaking inside, it was all good. The tripping scene I did not like, because one, we wanted to see a badass Jean. He's been training, someone got the time period together. They somehow did the math based on our seasons and everything, and said they've been for about 8 months doing this walking shit, and he's been like training probably every night, or even if you consider every second night, because he needs sleep. And what's one of the things we saw in the Volume 4 Episode 2 video is the Pyrrha thing is constantly telling about how to thrust or slice with a sword and footing. It's constantly being jammed into his fucking head. And without counting the Rwby fight, because now he's actually fighting a very sentient person, other people who are well trained, he trips. And you're like, you've been training your footing the whole friggin' time, and you trip. And I'm like, it's dumb. Instead, he's gone from potential badass to useless again. You can make the argument he's emotional, but no, I didn't like the tripping. And his speech, I don't know. I just assume it's Miles writing it because he voices Jean, so I'm like, he's writing his own character. I don't know if it's Kerry, but buying them time, it makes it all worthwhile. That's what he says when he's pinned, and I'm like, if it's really out of place, that line would have actually meant something if something in the background was actually happening, but they're all just fighting. They're just all in one-on-one fights. So you're not buying them time, even if you did get killed. What would happen, based on that, if she had killed him, he's dead, Cinder walks over and assists one of her allies, and then everyone else is outnumbered, and they're slowly, most likely going to get killed off, one by one. It's like his line about buying time, making it worthwhile, is useless in that scene. If there was something going on in the background that actually made sense, that he's buying them time and distracting Cinder, yes, but he's not. If he'd been killed, he'd be dead. It's a bad line. And then we get to the climax of the episode, which I know shocked everyone. Rwby Amino's going friggin' nuts, and I know everybody that's not on the Amino fandom everywhere is like treating it like an old fucking moment. And I will actually watch Murder of Bird's reaction just to skip to the moment, because I'm pretty sure he's still alive because he's uploading videos. But I actually want to see his reaction to this. I mean, I don't like his reactions that much because he's extremely over the top, but this is something, it's just worth seeing. But it's the fact that Cinder, someone argued that Cinder likes to play with people, but we didn't really see that in volume 2, 3. She's more direct, so you could just argue the power's gone to her head. But Jean's pinned, he's defenseless, he doesn't have anything, and she actually is pissed off at him at the point, but she calms down and she's like, you got a death wish, so why not just kill him? Then she walks away, and Jean's left sitting there, crying, whinging, moaning, no. And I'm like, this would be a perfect opportunity for you to get up, get your sword, and stab her in the back. Or at least attack her, stop her from doing whatever she's about to do. And then there's the subject of targeting Weiss. It just felt shallow, like, what's Weiss done at all that actually connects to Cinder? Nothing. The whole build up, and I know it's what a lot of people are waiting for, with Cinder and Rwby. All her training in volume 4, even in volume 5 when she's talking to Raven, it's all about Rwby. What says it? It's a pissing contest between Cinder and Rwby at this point, and you're just left wondering, because you actually see it in the animation. When she leaves Jean, she walks past, you got Cinder in the background, and Ruby's unconscious. And you're like, you've been wanting to get revenge. She could have just gone up and stabbed Rwby. Dead. She could have stabbed her right through the fucking head, the body. And instead she goes, no. The whole reason that's been building up for 2 volumes, me getting revenge on this silver-eyed bitch, yeah, I'm going after the heiress for no reason. It's no reason. I just think it's really badly written. Like, the end of the episode is just the worst part of it, and the reason why I gave it such, because I only gave it like 6. I think I changed it to a 7 out of 10 at the end, was because of how important the ending of an episode is. You can have the most brilliant episode written, but if you fuck up the ending and it's so easy to pick apart, you're just left like, it drags your high down. You got this huge high, oh, I'm having this greatest fucking episode with a great feeling, and then you get to the end of the episode and it's just shit, and you just like, it brings you down. So that's it. If anyone, because I'm uploading this to Amino, if anyone in the Amino like watches it, if you explain any of it that I've mentioned, if you have a good reason why some of these moments happened, if you can actually pinpoint a logical reason, that it doesn't have to be canon, it can be a theory. I like hearing theories. It's why I'm on the Amino. I have a high appreciation for a lot of the people on the Amino who are writers and artists. I have a high respect for them. So if you have a theory, put it in the comments. I would love to hear it. Or if you just, if you have a canon, if you know something canon that justifies any of this shit I brought up, it would be amazing. But if not, maybe it's just open your eyes to maybe something you might have missed. And just one last note, it's why I stopped watching Murder of Birds for a while, because I actually was fascinated by him at first, and was involved with his discussion talking. It changed from Murder of Birds discussion videos to Murder of Birds worship videos. He worships Rwby fanatically, and he doesn't criticize it. He actually thinks the show's God's gift. And that's why it led me to believe, when they made a lot of mistakes that were easily seen, and yet he's still praising them, I was at the point like, is he doing it all for show? Is that where the over the top reactions come from? Has he developed this character that he's portraying as the face of Rwby? Because you know, he's the face of the fandom now, and if he did say something negative about Rwby, it would spark controversy, and he doesn't. He's so into worshipping it that he's, you know, I started to believe it's a character he's playing. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. You would have to hear it from him. But yeah, but I will watch his reaction just to see what he thinks of Weiss getting stabbed. And if anyone has any information on why on some of those points, just let me know down below, okay? Any last thoughts? Oh, just I'm putting a spoiler one here. I just want to talk about something really quickly. I'll try to sum it up by 20 minutes. I saw the preview for 12. So if you want to leave now, stop watching and do it. If you've seen the preview, it's both good and bad. It's exactly like episode 11. It's good and bad. So spoiler, it's Hazel and Ospen. Apparently we're getting that, and that's hyped me up for the episode. That alone has hyped me up the episode, because I'm very confused with Hazel. He values life, and you know, he's trying to stop fights, and then, you know, he fucking kills people. And I'm like, it's a very contradictory bloody attitude to have. So I'm curious to see why he hates Ospen. The episode preview that I didn't get is we see Cinder just standing there like a fucking zombie, and Jean gets up, gets his sword, runs past her, doesn't do anything to her, runs to Weiss. Oh, Weiss. And I'm left wondering, like, she let him run across the whole fucking room to her. I'm like, she could have stabbed him. Like, it's got to the point where Cinder is getting, I don't know, worse. I don't know if it's just cockiness or why. You're the villain. I like villains that get shit done. That's why I'm a big fan of Alan Torres. I'm like, I'm not a big... so many opportunities to kill people, and for stupid reasons, it's not happened. And so if I do a reaction to episode 12, because I'm actually liking this reaction, it's a way to vent yourself. I already know something I'm not gonna like, and it's this whole friggin' Jean Cinder shit. It's pissing me off. But I'm really hyped for this Hazel Ospen stuff, and hopefully we actually get to see some of the animated fight between Mercury Yang and Chrome Raven. That's other stuff I'd like to see. Okay? Let me know your thoughts.